What?
That's a guy.
That other guy's handsome.
That's a girl.
That cat is cute.
That's a dog.
RachelZegler is going bananas after finding out the Family Guy show decided to mock her and make fun of the fact that her SnowWhite movie was a flop.
What the hell? What's happened to us?
I don't know, but suddenly I feel all sweet and warm and fuzzy. It seems we're in a universe where everything is drawn by Disney.
Look, there's our house.
Look how gaily we...
RachelZegler is absolutely furious after Family Guy went in hard on her SnowWhite movie. And honestly, they didn't hold back. But what's even crazier is that in the process, Family Guy may have just taken a direct hit at Disney itself. Now here's where it gets wild. Family Guy didn't randomly decide to go after RachelZegler. She just happened to be the perfect example for them to use in their latest jab at Disney, the very company that owns Family Guy. So why would a show owned by Disney take a swing at its own parent company? Well, the reality is way more complicated than it seems. RachelZegler has ended up caught right in the middle of a corporate mess, and knowingly or not, she gave Family Guy exactly what they needed to make their point. Buckle up and grab your snacks. This is one story you don't want to miss.
You said we were going to a place Walt Disney built.
No, Peter, I said supported. By the way, don't go on the train line.
Just when it felt like things couldn't go any worse for RachelZegler's SnowWhite, the situation somehow keeps getting worse. After a theatrical release that was already a disaster, the fallout hasn't stopped. From day one, the movie seemed doomed. Audiences pushed back hard over everything, from the redesign of the Seven Dwarfs to the controversial decision to cast RachelZegler as SnowWhite, to her public clashes with co-star Gal Gadot over their opposing views on Israel and Palestine, and that's not even the half of it. Rachel repeatedly criticized the original SnowWhite like she was too good for it. Talk about bad timing. Now, to make matters worse, the film has become the butt of Family Guy's latest joke. And their take is brutal. The tea comes after Rachel's film got slammed with online review bombing, and critics didn't go easy either, handing it a disappointing 40% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And that's them being generous. Despite the film's whopping $250 million budget, it has only managed to scrape together about $200 million globally since it opened on March 21st. That's right, more than a month later, and it still hasn't made its money back. Sure, technically it's sitting in the number 4 spot for the year behind Captain America, Brave New World, Minecraft, and Ninjago 2. But let's be real, for a film with a $250 million budget and the Disney logo front and center, this is a flop, plain and simple. Disney needed a big win, and instead they got this. With all this chaos surrounding the film, rumors started swirling about a new Family Guy episode in the works, and apparently it's set to tear RachelZegler to shreds, mocking all the drama that led up to SnowWhite's release. The word on the street is this episode is going to be so savage that Rachel is allegedly trying to get it pulled before it airs. Thing is, Rachel's caught in a tough spot, wedged between Family Guy and Disney, and that's the last place you want to be when you're already having one of the worst years of your career. Here's the twist. Family Guy's writers have never exactly been Disney superfans. Let's go back to 2019 when Disney made a major power move and acquired 21st Century Fox, the company that owned Family Guy. As soon as the deal went through, the Family Guy team made their feelings known. They put together an entire episode just to roast Disney. When it aired, it was full-on chaos, and fans loved every second of it. The episode, titled Disney's The Reboot, mocked how Disney loves to take existing properties and give them a modern update, just like they did with SnowWhite. So what happened in that episode? Kicked off with Disney execs deciding that Family Guy needed a fresh, woke reboot. And they didn't stop at one. They went all in with 3 ridiculous versions of the show.
I thought they said it was a couple of tweaks.
Yeah, we're supposed to trust these idiots? That woman has her finger up her nose.
That's still your reflection, Peter.
Oh, she's cute.
First up was Family Gal, a version where Lois takes center stage in a painfully try-hard attempt to stay relevant.
As most unfunny women will tell you, women are very funny. That's why our first reboot is built around the very popular Louise.
It's Lois.
Whatever. The mom.
This is our time. This is our moment. This is a short song for syndication. Lois!
Going to work, huh?
Yes, Joe, I'm going to work.
Great! More and more women are...
Next was The Q, a gloomy teen drama clearly spoofing Riverdale. And last, and definitely the most out there, was After Family Guy, which focused on all the leftover characters who didn't become stars. Imagine Chris married to Trisha Takanawa and raising Joe. That's the kind of madness we're talking about. But it didn't stop there. These reboot pilots got dragged into a focus group from hell, and the Griffins, especially Peter, were furious watching their show get torn apart. Executive producer Alex Sulkin later revealed that Peter actually crashes the focus group mid-episode, yelling, "I don't get who Guy is for." Now Family Guy has always been self-aware and shameless, but this episode really felt like their masterpiece when it comes to dragging Disney's style of remakes. When asked how quickly they decided to go after Disney, Sulkin said it took them just 20 minutes after finding out about the acquisition. He explained that it gave them fresh material and a reason to reimagine the show while poking fun at Disney's obsession with modernizing everything. "We're trying not to fall in love with the new versions of Family Guy that make us feel like, oh my god, Seth is wrong, we should have done the teen drama," Sulkin said. "It's always fun when we get to break the fourth wall. We do it here and there, but rarely for an entire episode." Even though Disney's The Reboot didn't call out Disney by name, the message was crystal clear. Family Guy wasn't thrilled about the merger. And as time went on, that attitude only became more obvious. Family Guy has always been the loud, unpredictable cousin at the family barbecue, stirring the pot and not caring who gets mad. Even after Disney started paying their salaries, Seth MacFarlane made it clear he had no plans to play nice. Case in point? In Season 20, Episode 8, The Birthday Bootlegger, the show pulled off a savage crossover joke featuring Bart Simpson. Yes, that Bart, now technically part of the same Disney-owned family. For anyone who thought Family Guy would go soft under Disney, this was proof they were dead wrong, and in the episode, Stewie ends up in detention where he sees Bart Simpson writing lines on the chalkboard just like in the old days. But the kicker? Bart's line says, "It's a pleasure to work for the Disney Corporation." Stewie immediately starts calling out the corporate nonsense, saying, "Oh, that is such a load of," but his voice suddenly glitches into Mickey Mouse's, finishing the sentence with, "Truth, a wonderful load of truth."
Oh, God, these kids have their teeth! And where are their pacifiers? How do they ever sleep? Detention kids are scary, especially that fourth grader writing on the board. Oh, that is such a load of truth! A wonderful load of truth!
Let's be real, this was classic Family Guy shade. It was subtle enough to fly under Disney's radar, but the dig was loud and clear. They might be owned by Disney now, but they're not afraid to bite the hand that feeds them. And here's the kicker, when Disney bought 21st Century Fox, they didn't just get Family Guy. They got The Simpsons too. And fans immediately worried what Disney would do to these iconic shows. The fear? That Disney would strip away the edge, clean everything up, and turn them into bland, safe content for the whole family. With The Simpsons, that concern wasn't exactly unfounded. Bart used to be a rebellious icon, the kid who literally gave authority the middle finger. But even before Disney stepped in, the show started feeling a lot tamer, a lot more sanitized. Still iconic? Sure. But definitely softer. When the merger happened, Seth MacFarlane told Variety he wasn't all that concerned, and that alone was his way of saying, "We're not about to start behaving." And he meant it. Family Guy never lost its bite. They keep pushing buttons, serving up jokes that toe the line, and that's exactly why people still tune in after over 300 episodes and more than 20 years. If Disney ever tried to make Family Guy too safe, it would tank, just like RachelZegler's SnowWhite did. That quick Bart gag? It was more than a laugh. It was a power move. A reminder that even in Disney's squeaky clean kingdom, there are still a few corners throwing punches, and now with RachelZegler's SnowWhite being such a high-profile failure, Family Guy is reportedly gearing up to use her as the symbol of everything that went wrong, and they're ready to roast. Anyway, what do y'all think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check out our other videos to stay in the loop with all the latest drama and news. Until next time, bye.